Good afternoon, Zoomers! Codger Biker here, and it's great to be out, upshifting and down blipping. And at last, the roads have dried out, and we've got something called grip on the tyres. Don't think they're going to get particularly warm though, as it's 10 degrees. The eagle-eyed amongst you might notice another experiment I'm conducting, but which I will say nothing at this point. When I bought the Barkbusters, I did buy the lights with them, but a couple of people got back and said don't bother with the lights, they're a waste of space or they're fragile. So I don't know whether they're any good or not, but as I'd already got them, eventually I've got round to putting them on, so that's what I'm doing today. I'm just having a little look at the Barkbuster LED lights. Later in this video I'll show you how I fitted them and the arrangements I'm going to make for fitting them permanently. At the moment they're temporarily fitted. I've got to make up a harness, which means soldering properly and shrink fit tubing. None of your masking tape for me, thank you very much, and proper connectors, so that'll take a lot longer than actually fitting the grips, but it's straightforward, just fiddly. And I'd sooner ride today while it's dry, because it is actually lovely conditions. Of course it's difficult to know whether they actually make any difference to people noticing you. I think a lot of car drivers see bikes but they don't notice them. It's a different thing, and I don't always blame them. I'm a car driver too. I always look twice and constantly thinking about motorcycles, but if you've not been a motorcyclist, you can look straight at a motorcycle and not see it because you're expected to see a car. So I'm always interested in trying anything that I hope will increase visibility. I always have a white crash helmet, for instance. I did notice when I was riding that Honda CB650R the other day that cars did seem to notice it, and I think that was because of the two indicators that are on all the time on a Honda.
There's that one. So it's brown and yellow, or red, black and brown. Got a feel it's the red, black and brown ones, but we'll see. So the one you want is the black and red, which is positive, and the brown wire. I think it's brown, salmon coloured. You can see that it's on 0 until I turn on the ignition. It goes up to 12 volts, so that's on the ignition. So first test, turn on the ignition, light comes on, turn off the ignition, goes off. You get a blister type package that says Barkbuster's LED, white LED position. You get the two lights themselves. You get a packet of bits and pieces. You get some instructions with some templates which you cut out and stick onto the handguard. So if I round that up, call it 100 milliamps, that's a tenth of an amp. What's equal to amps times volts? So it's a tenth times 12 volts is 1.2 watts. That's nothing. That's a ridiculously small amount of current.
Said he wasn't afraid of going over the top, so it plays well, but he's happy. He's tapped one off his pads out the tingle. So that's job done, that's pressure relief.
Let there be light, and there was light. Well, for 1.2 watts between them, they're quite bright. At least indoors. Ba 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 ba. Started.
Let's see what they look like. first corner. Hey, that's good. I love corners. Yeah, so just having a quick look at them there. I don't know how brilliant they are, get it? Brilliant. But they're certainly more effective than leaving them in a drawer. So that's what they look like when they're on. I'll finish the wiring later, but I won't put that into the video. You can figure that out yourself. What I would say is I'm putting a fuse in line, even though it is a switch socket, because although those lights only take about probably less than a quarter of an amp, it's not the current from the lights, it's if the wire wears through and shorts against the frame or something one day, you don't want to fire. So I'm going to put a 2 amp fuse on the actual lights, so there's a 10 amp fuse on the actual socket, so hopefully if anything goes wrong the light fuse will go, and the only issue I'll then have is afternoon. The only issue I'd then have is the lights not being on, I wouldn't know about it. So fuses, shrink wrap, proper soldering and careful running through of your wires is my tip, and I'm not going to show you how I did it. Oh dear, Codger biker, you saw me in. So too late to wish you a happy new year, but I hope you had a good start to the year. I hope it's going to be a great 2020. Codger biker is out. Afternoon. Case in point,